Cool.
It's here. Oh, yeah.
Through those photos.
Or revisit a Friday.
Microphone.
Hersam Acorn newspapers, publishers of the Greenwich Post, New Canaan Advertiser, the Darien Times, the Ridgefield Press, the Weston Forum, the Wilton Bulletin, the Reading Pilot, the Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
It's Wednesday.com, streaming live on the Hersam Acorn Network at HANradio.com/livestream, along with John Kovach and Rob Adams, and a whole large group here are joining us here at Harbor Yard in Bridgeport, John, where we are anticipating the FCAC baseball semifinals that will carry live today, starting at 5 o'clock.
Great venue. Cannot wait. Love to see these kids play here. We're on this tour that's taking us to more stadiums than most classic rock bands on reunion tours.
Yeah, we've been in the studio once in the past couple weeks, or past 8 work days.
Not sure I could find it.
Do
No.
Freebird.
But, you know, there are worse places to be all day long, and we're going to
Yeah.
be here for 12-plus hours. Got here about 9 o'clock this morning, then a ballpark.
We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk to Bluefish, which I really wish and hope more people come out and support them. I love having a team here. I love the location for this ballpark. It's a place. I went to school just over there, just down the street at the University of Bridgeport. Used to drive by and say, geez, why doesn't Bridgeport have a minor league baseball team?
Well,
And now they've got one. Let's get out here and support it. They're supporting by having the FCACs here, and hopefully we have a good crowd and 2 good games tonight. And Rob Adams will bring us up to Speed on Sports in a little bit.
And he has a special guest on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock today. But first, John, let's take a look at the roads.
It is a bad and crazy morning out there on the road. You still have a tractor-trailer accident. This is in Monroe. Let me give you all the details on that. 3 people have been taken to the hospital. A Chevrolet Malibu and a tractor-trailer carrying heating fuel crashed on Route 25 near Northbrook Drive about 20 minutes to 8 this morning. Monroe police are still investigating, but early reports appear the driver of the Malibu crossed the center line and hit the tractor-trailer. The driver of the Malibu and a passenger were trapped in the car and had to be extricated. They, along with the truck driver, were taken to St. Vincent's Medical Center. Injuries are said to be serious but not life-threatening. The saddle tanks that hold the fuel, not the big tank that the truck was pulling, but the saddle tanks that fuel the engine of the tractor, ruptured. You have a fuel spill, so it is a hazmat situation. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is there. The heating fuel tank itself was not compromised, so we'll keep you up to date when that scene clears. Tragedy in Guilford this morning. State Street just reopened within the past hour after a car left I-95 and plunged onto State Street. Reports are that one person was killed in that crash. You have delays in Fairfield, they say are clear. You have an accident now in Darien, 95 South at exit 13. You're going to have residual delays from all these other incidents throughout the state, and we'll keep you up to speed on those. That's going to be a changing situation as the morning wears on. As far as the weather, it could be a little better in terms of baseball if the rain holds off. And Jacob Mizell, our friend at SWCT Weather on Twitter, tells us that the storms should miss southwestern Connecticut. Right now, 71 and cloudy, little bit of a wind. It says 10 miles an hour. Does not feel like that. It's going to get up into the mid-70s, 20% chance of rain during the day. Tonight, 40% chance of rain. It'll be in the 60s. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 80. Currently 71 in Bridgeport, 73 in Stratford, 73 in Fairfield.
Well, John, the Bridgeport Bluefish co-founder, Mary Jane Foster, is again challenging Bridgeport Mayor Bill Finch. Saying, "I'm running for mayor because we deserve better." Foster will formally announce her candidacy on June 4th at the Holiday Inn downtown, according to a news release. Foster lost a 2011 primary to Finch. The vice president of the university relations at the University of Bridgeport joins a race for the Democratic nomination that already includes former Mayor Joe Ganim, Board of Education member Howard Gardner, and Charlie Coviello. Democrats are expected to endorse a candidate in July. Any primary would be in September.
That's going to be fun.
Bridgeport politics are always fun.
That might be a bigger free-for-all than Connecticut Republicans.
Certainly, but also that too, and the primary for mayor here in Bridgeport generally. That's also basically the general election.
They should have that in this arena. That's how no holds barred this is going to be, or have it next door. Put it on closed circuit.
So you think
here.
That would give Foster an unfair home field advantage?
That's true. It might. That's going to be a great race. Looking forward to following that. In other news, fire investigators are asking the public for help as they search for the cause of a blaze that destroyed a home in Orange over the weekend. Fire Marshal Tim Smith is asking anyone with photos or video of a fire that broke out Saturday at 400 Derby Milford Road to contact him at 203-891-4709, that according to Orange Police. The fire broke out around 11:15 Saturday morning. One person was left homeless by the blaze. I've seen some video of it, and just a horrific fire, Josh. No one was injured, but it required crews from Derby, Woodbridge, and Milford to help Orange firefighters extinguish that fire.
Well, John, the Lugar Center / McCourt School of Public Policy at Georgetown University has ranked every member of Congress on the basis of his or her bipartisan efforts. And Connecticut Democrats are near the bottom.
We should have made this a game. I should have had you guess.
You should have. Yeah,
Inside radio. We could have done this. We could have had a lot more fun with this.
Well, it might not come as a big surprise, but in the Senate, U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut ranked 73rd, And our junior senator, Chris Murphy, ranked 85th out of 100.
I hear the collective gasp from the empty seats here at the ballpark.
And speaking locally, the 3rd District Democrat Rosa DeLauro was ranked 396th out of 422 members of the House of Representatives. Well, 4th District, southwestern Connecticut's Congressman Jim Himes is ranked 335th. Maine Republican Susan Collins ranked the most bipartisan senator, with West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin second. New York Republicans held 4 of the top 5 bipartisan rankings in the House. There are no elected Republicans from Connecticut in Congress.
I was kind of surprised Peter King up there, like first or second.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of these, the Northeastern Republicans who do get elected do have to work with the other side to get elected, because,
True.
you got to, particularly on some social matters,
Yes.
it's very hard for Republicans who are conservative socially to get elected in this part of the country. They tend, as we know, to fall in that fiscal conservative angle. So, you saw someone like Chris Shays, who was the congressman for 22 years, always was rated, towards the top on this list.
Yeah, dead center usually. A lot of times with the mod where he was in terms of conservative liberal, he'd be right in the center. You could balance the chamber on him.
That'd be an interesting picture. Maybe we can get Doug Smith to draw that.
Doug could draw that. Doug will have that done before I'm done with the next report. Meanwhile, Murphy and Himes were both in Bridgeport speaking to high school juniors at the Fairchild Wheeler Interdistrict Magnet Campus yesterday, promoting a plan that they say would make college more affordable. It's a bill that was introduced this month. Murphy said the hope is that Congress will pay more attention to college costs so that students can borrow less. He added that the Senate will debate the Higher Education Act this fall. He wants elements of the bill that he supports included, obviously. Himes, meanwhile, said his hope is elements of the bill will be incorporated into the reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act on the House side. Murphy said this isn't about spending more money, but better spending existing money spent on education. Your coffee break time is 11:15.
As you try to see.
It's something.
Tough to see these screens with the glare, but I understand we have a beautiful view behind us.
Good.
So, focus on the pitcher's mound, Eric. Governor Malloy announced Tuesdays that he has signed into law a bill aimed at speeding up the process for couples seeking amicable divorces. The law goes into effect October 1st and requires that qualifying couples be childless, have less than $35,000 in assets, and been married for fewer than 8 years. Proponents say it should expedite the current 90-day dissolution period. During the fiscal year ending June 30th of 2014, that was last year, 12,717 marriages were dissolved in the state, according to the judicial branch. The legislation was introduced by Judge Elizabeth Bizzuto, Chief Administrative Judge for the Family Matters in the Judicial Branch, who told lawmakers in March that it's easier to get married than divorced in the state. Coffee break time is 11:16. John, want to take a check of the traffic?
I am taking a look at that. We have delays just in on 91 South. That's at Exit 8, Route 17. That's in New Haven. Road work in New Canaan. That's on the Merritt Parkway North at Exit 37, Route 124. They're still reporting that accident in Guilford. It sounds like that investigation is going to be going on for some time, and we still have that closure, Route 25 in Monroe, where we had the tractor trailer and car collide. Currently 71 degrees where we sit above Bridgeport, Connecticut at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, looking at the power plant, looking at the baseball diamond behind us. It's cloudy. It's going to stay cloudy. Hopefully that's all it does. That's what we're being told by our friend Jacob Mizell, is that the storms that I've heard forecast will miss southern Connecticut. 76% humidity. It's a little steamy out here. Low 70s right now. Get up to about 76 today. Tonight, 40% chance of showers. 61 degrees, the low. Tomorrow gets up to 80, partly cloudy. Currently 73 in Stratford and 73 in Fairfield. When we come back, history heats up, and Rob Adams takes a look at the playoffs that we'll be covering tonight. You're listening to and watching Coffee Break on HANradio.com.
Your child has fallen and broken his arm. You need to see an orthopedist fast. Think Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Don't wait hours in the ER. Save a trip and money by going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care in Norwalk. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate roadshows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodontics on HANradio.com. Coming to you live, high above the ballpark. Going to be here all day. Rob Adams with a very special guest on Nutmeg Sports at 2 and a preview of tonight's baseball semifinals. And when we're done with history, we'll tell you who's playing. Josh, let's take a look at what happened on this day as compiled by Donald Eng.
Tsar Peter the Great founded the city of St. Petersburg with a population of 5 million. It is the second largest city in Russia. It is the northernmost city in the world with a population over 1 million. And in 1914, the name of the city was changed from St. Petersburg to Petrograd and then to Leningrad in 1924, before being changed back to St. Petersburg in 1991.
In 1927, the Ford Motor Company stopped manufacturing the Model T and begins to rework its plants to create the Ford Model A.
I always thought the Model A would come before the T.
Wouldn't you?
The 1,046-foot Chrysler Building in New York City, the tallest man-made structure at the time, opens to the public on this day in 1930. Although the building was built and designed specifically for the car manufacturer, the corporation did not pay for the construction of it, and it never owned it, as Walter P. Chrysler decided to pay for it himself so that his children could inherit it. It held the title of world's tallest building for less than a year, though, before it was eclipsed by the Empire State Building. John?
Spare with me a second here.
All right.
1941, World War II. The German battleship Bismarck is sunk in the North Atlantic. That killed almost 2,100 German sailors. That was a huge victory for the British Navy in that sea conflict.
It was. And then, of course, we had this.
The Centralia mine fire ignited on this date in 1962. Started in a landfill, Josh, above the coal mine.
This town was built on coal,
1,100 residents
and coal
of Centralia,
is fueling its
Pennsylvania
demise.
had to move.
It began in May of
Experts estimate there's enough coal in that deposit to keep the fire burning for 1,000 years.
Wow. Well, that's a look at your day in history. And for Donald Lang, he's John Kovach. I'm Josh Fisher. And we had some fun baseball to cover yesterday, and we have some more fun baseball to cover tonight. Let's move on to sports, John, if you're ready.
I am. Rob Adams here with us. Rob, we had a good one yesterday in Norwalk. If you're the Wilton Warriors, what a pitching performance.
14 strikeouts for JT Morin, guys, and really just wow. I don't know that I've ever put 14 on my scorecard in any game that I've ever broadcast, believe it or not. So to have that kind of game coming from this young left-hander was really remarkable.
Just 7 outs that weren't strikeouts.
Yeah.
That was frightening.
And at one point it was only 3. I'm sorry, John. One point it was only 3.
That was there was a point early in that game when Norwalk, over the course of 3 innings, had left 6 in scoring position.
Yeah.
And in the 4th inning, of the 12 outs, 11 were strikeouts.
Yeah.
It was insane, that pitching performance. Obviously, he won't take the hill tonight.
No, he said he could possibly give some time on Friday if the Warriors can make it to the championship, but they've got to get through today, of course.
What was his pitch count? I know you kept
was
it
sitting
approaching
around
130.
I
Wasn't
thought
it?
127, I believe.
It was around 125, as I recall. So it's a lot of pitches for that young man, and we had him on the air after the game, and he said he'll be good to go Friday. He said he'd never even considered coming out. So good mentality about him for sure. But what a performance, and the Warriors did a heck of a job getting that win.
They win 6-1 over Norwalk. They will take on top-seeded Darien, who beat Stamford by an identical 6-1 count. That the opener here at Harbor Yard. That at 5 o'clock. Look for us around 4:50 with the pregame. In the other semifinal, Trinity Catholic, the 6th seed, eliminates New Canaan 3-1. Staples, the 2nd seed, blanks Fairfield Ward 3-0. So you'll have number 2 Staples and number 6 Trinity. That the nightcap here at Harbor Yard, streaming live with us at 7:30. Josh, another fine pitching performance in the SWC playoffs.
There was Shelton High senior right-hander Mike Cowell threw a no-hitter against North Haven High in a 3-0 Gale win in the SCC quarterfinals on Tuesday afternoon. Cowell faced just 1 batter over the minimum, striking out 6 and walking none in his second no-hit masterpiece of the season. The Fordham-bound ace, who had proved a 7-1, no-hit Branford High earlier in the season. The 3rd-seeded Gales will face 2nd-seeded Fairfield Prep, which beat number 7-seed Career Magnet of New Haven 15-4 Tuesday in one semifinal tonight in West Haven. The other SEC semifinal will feature top-seeded Notre Dame of West Haven against Amity High of Woodbridge, which outlasted Sheehan High of Wallingford 13-8 in 10 innings last night.
Josh, Kyle Horton drove in 4 runs, 2 of them breaking a 4-4 tie in the bottom of the 6th, as the Massac High baseball team rallied to defeat Pomperog 6-5 in the Southwest Conference semifinals yesterday at Bethel High School. Coach Ralph Franco's top-seeded Panthers will play 3rd-seeded Bunnell for the SWC title tonight at 7. Also at Bethel, the Bulldogs defeated Stratford High 5-3 in that first semifinal.
Looking at the FCAC boys lacrosse semifinals, John, it was Darien over New Canaan, 13-7. So they get revenge back on that because New Canaan beat Darien earlier this year, right? In that
beat them 9-8.
Yes.
9-8, right? So it'll be Darien in the finals against Richfield, who also avenged a loss to Greenwich from earlier in the season that we covered, right, Rob?
That is correct.
So it'll be Darien, number 3 Darien against number 4 Ridgefield in the final at 7 p.m. Thursday night at Brian McMahon High School in Norwalk. And John, and SCC boys lacrosse?
Rafferty Stadium, one of our favorite venues up in Fairfield, hosted the SCC semis last night. You had Fairfield Prep, the top seed, ousting Guilford 13-8. It took overtime, but number 2 Xavier prevailed over North Haven. Prep and Xavier will meet at Ken Strong Stadium in West Haven at 7 o'clock Thursday for the SCC championship.
That's great. In FCAC girls lacrosse semifinals, New Canaan beat Greenwich 11-4, and Darien topped Wilton 15-8. So number 1 Darien will play number 2 New Canaan in the final at 4 p.m. tomorrow. That game will face off before the boys final. FCX softball.
I'm trying to see it. It's getting a little difficult to see.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's going to be St. Joe's and Stanford for the championship.
Yeah, it's coming right over my shoulder.
It is. All of a sudden, the sun has popped out here.
Can we move the sun? Can we move the sun for John?
Can we do something about the sun?
Can we get George Harrison here? Here comes the sun. Anyone?
That's going to do it for sports. We're going to have Paul Herman of the Bridgeport Bluefish on momentarily, talk about some of what's going on here at Harbor Yard, including the semifinals here today, the finals Friday night.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit also to Rob about today's Nutmeg Sports, which will be coming to you live at 2 o'clock right here from Harbor Yard.
And we're also going to hear about personalized airfares from Jim Cameron.
All right, we're going to step out for a break, Rob.
Yes, sir.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about things that are going on here at Harbor Yard. You're listening to and watching Coffee Break on HANradio.com, streaming live on the Hersam Acorn Network.
It's Doctors, specializing in children's birth, your child's favorite Hardy
was one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
Welcome back to your coffee break on HANradio.com, streaming you live. Beautiful confines of Harbor Yard here in Bridgeport. We're going to be here all day. We'll have Nutmeg Sports with Rob Adams at 2. We will have baseball semifinals tonight, starting at 4:50, a doubleheader. Joining us now, Paul Herman. Paul is Director of Public Relations and Baseball Operations for the Bridgeport Bluefish. How great is the exposure for you guys when you have the FCX semis here and you're bringing 4 schools and their fans in here on one day?
Oh, it's tremendous. Tremendous just to community out to the ballpark like this. And then being able to get HEN radio out here as well to broadcast for 2 days live from the ballpark.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough for helping us, and we don't always help like we have right now.
Not too shabby.
I could deal with this.
No, it's not. We certainly look forward to it. We're all big baseball fans here. There are worse places to spend a day than at a ballpark, and it's also fun to watch. You guys have a great little grounds crew here that we've seen in the past, and it's fun just to kind of watch them out there tilling the dirt. What's it like for you coming every day into work at a ballpark?
It's a unique experience. I mean, like every day, wake up and even if it's 8 in the morning, we have a kids game coming up on June 2nd. 10:30, so we're going to be here like 7, 8 in the morning.
Oh, what's that?
Wow. But the fact that I can wake up at 7, be tired, but say, hey, I'm coming to the ballpark.
Right.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Yeah,
I will say
it was different to pull up to work and it's a ballpark.
Yeah, right.
You're
exactly.
walking, and it's kind of cool.
Paul, you told us off the air it's your 7th year here, and it seems stunning to me that you've been around that long. How have you seen things improve? What have the changes been in your 7 years here?
Well, I came here in 2009. That's when Frank Bolton took over the team. He's also the owner of Long Island Ducks, and he started the Atlantic League back in 1998. So he came in, and just being in the league for so long and whatnot, came in, just made some impactful changes to the ballpark. With first thing he did was put in a brand new field and lights, all the operational stuff. And then, throughout the years, have a couple different general managers, different ideas from each one. But right now, Jamie Toole's on board, and just a very bright individual with a lot of creativity with a lot of these events we have coming up, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and it's not just about baseball, right? You have a big CrossFit competition going on Saturday.
Yes,
here?
coming up this Saturday, Going Hard at Harbor Yard, and it's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. here at the ballpark. Anyone's welcome to come. There's an $85 fee to come in, and it's a big competition right here on the field. So it's a unique place for something like this.
That's hardcore stuff too. I've seen some of that. Now, is that open to spectators as well?
Yep.
Because there's no way I'm ready to do that. Things that aren't happening this weekend. And you've got the Battle of the Sexes coming up again. That was for the first time last year,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
And it puts the legendary Stratford Brakettes against players from the Bluefish.
Against the Bluefish team. And that was a tremendous event last year. The first year we had about 4,500 people come to the game.
Wow.
And that was just announcing it within, I think we had a 2-week time period where we finalized it, announced it, and then 4,500 people come to the ballpark.
And the first version of it was rained out, right?
Correct, yeah.
So to get that many people to come back, that's a heck of a job.
Yeah, it's a very unique event.
Right.
That a lot of people probably haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And then, again, they've been Stratford Brakettes, a tremendous team. It's really very impactful here in the Fairfield County, Southern Connecticut community.
Oh, it's everywhere. Yep. I remember, and I'll date myself here, but I remember in 3rd grade in Bud Lake, New Jersey, reading in a weekly reader a story about the Ray Bestos Brakettes in Stratford, Connecticut.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
I'm impressed that he remembers reading that, Josh.
Yeah.
I'm impressed I remembered how to find a place.
I'm impressed that John was a 3rd grader at one point. And of course, the big event this year is the All-Star Game.
Yes.
Tell us about what's in store.
All-Star Week. We're about to finalize every event that we have set up. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, July 7th through the 9th. So the first day, it's going to be basically a welcome reception where it's a block party down on Fairfield Ave. We're shutting down Fairfield Ave, getting all the restaurants involved, the B-Shoe Theater.
Great.
Oh, that's terrific.
Where all the players, families, Atlantic League staff, and then fans as well will be able to come down. And it's just basically a donation to, I think we're going to try to get the Bridgeport-Cree Youth Little League involved.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And it's just going to be, come in, it's a donation to help out that cause and the Little League. And it's basically it's going to be like a street fair.
Wow.
That first day, just to really, everyone come in and show them downtown Bridgeport. And then the following day, we got the All-Star Game. We're doing a luncheon at Housatonic Community College. We're going to have a guest speaker, which we're going to announce fairly soon. And then the normal Home Run Derby All-Star Game that night. And then the following day, on the 9th, we're doing the Heroes for Heroes Legends Game to support Homes for the Brave here in Bridgeport, former Yankees versus former Red Sox.
What kind of challenges does having an All-Star Game present you guys here in this ballpark?
As a staff, it's unique because it's a lot more planning than a normal season. So we brought on a couple extra staff members just to concentrate just on the All-Star Game, getting all this set up. Because there's a lot involved with not just beforehand, just bringing the teams in and getting the hotel reservations for everyone, working with the other teams on making a new game program, just basic stuff like getting headshots for the players, getting their walk-up music, whatnot, and then just all the new fans that are going to be coming into Bridgeport and being able to show them what Fairfield County and Southern Connecticut are all about.
Well, it's definitely a fun place to come visit, and our office and studio are just about 15 minutes away or so. So we like to stop in here.
Absolutely.
After work and catch a ballpark. You got the new Two Roads Beer Garden too this year. How's that been for you guys?
That has been very well received.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure.
Far, yes.
I'm sure.
We're just thinking we should probably sample some of that eventually. I don't know. I'm trying to be, it's benevolent. It's what we do.
We have to explain to the public the full experience.
That's right.
Available here at Harbor Yard.
That's right. That's our job.
Your job is to get us to do that. So we're all doing our jobs here. It's great.
That's right.
It all works out.
As soon as we're off the air, maybe we'll go to.
But I can't say enough. I love coming to this place. It's a great place, even spur of the moment a lot of times. But, hey, we're not doing anything tonight. Let's go to the ball game. And it's right here. And there's just so much hospitality and different things to eat, to drink, to watch a game. A beautiful place to watch a game, look out over the sound. Just a great venue. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight with the FCAC semifinals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those games are going to be great. And just the upcoming Bluefish games we got going on. Just to go back to how Jamie's been tying in new stuff, we have a Michelle Beadle Appreciation Night.
Oh, I saw that. That's right.
And she finally caught on about it. And so she tweeted us is this a real thing? And we tweeted back the rap video we made at the beginning of the year about our promotions. And Jamie and Michelle are actually going back and forth, and she's sending us a video to play that's basically her thanking us and the community. Say we really appreciate the Michelle Beadle Appreciation Night.
And somebody's not allowed in that night, as I recall.
Is that
how that works?
Floyd Mayweather. If he's planning on coming, he might have to make other plans that night.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, the Bluefish are out of town this weekend, right? They're back on Tuesday?
Back Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, Sunday. Okay. Great. Excellent.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah, so I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, appreciate you welcoming us. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun
day.
day.
So much.
Thanks,
Paul.
Paul.
It really is.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Paul Herman, Director of Public Relations and Baseball Operations for the Bridgeport Bluefish. We are going to step out.
That sounds good. We'll step
out when we
break,
come back.
We'll come back for Jim Cameron.
Back for Jim Cameron.
All right. Transportation. You're listening to and watching Coffee Break on HANradio.com, streaming on the Hersam Acorn Network.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersamsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors, ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
It's easy to advertise on HANradio.com. Reach 263,000 listeners each month with our sports programming and talk programming. Call Marianne Hersam at 203-417-5199.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
If you're confused about airline fares, just wait. It's only going to get better. I'm Jim Cameron, and this is Talking Transportation, commentary and analysis on getting around. Let's say you're in a store shopping for some commodity product. You and another shopper each select one of the same items at the same time and head for the cashier. But before you can pay, the cashier asks you for your name and some identification. You're from Darien or New Canaan and are a new customer. The other shopper's from Bridgeport or Hartford, but a regular at the store. The cashier plugs in that info, and you're told that your purchase for the same item will cost 10% more than the other shopper. What? Well, welcome to the world of personalized prices. You may not realize it, but this sort of thing happens all the time when you're buying gasoline, thanks to zone pricing, where dealers charge higher prices in more affluent communities, not just in Connecticut, but nationwide. And giving discounts to best or repeat customers is also quite common. Monthly pass holders on Metro North pay only half of what their peak fare tickets would cost if purchased separately. But never before have these concepts been combined in some secret corporate algorithm to apply to purchasing airline tickets. Until now. IATA, the International Air Transport Authority, has petitioned the U.S. government to allow its 250 airline members to capture and use new kinds of personal information about would-be flyers before quoting them a fare. Most frightening of these could be some sort of means test. In other words, as at a bazaar, where the salesman sizes you up and asks, "How much do you want to pay?" the airline could figure out that answer itself based on your zip code and flying pattern. To travel in business class or book at the last moment, they'll assume you can pay more and they'll quote you higher fares, while folks in poorer communities are offered discounts. The fairness, if not the legality of all this. He's written to the U.S. Transportation Department asking if this plan isn't hurting more consumers than it's helping. Airline flights have never been fuller because they've shrunk their fleets, but customer demand seems to be coming back. Almost 80% of all flights on domestic and international flights are full. Gone are the glory of my misspent youth when college students could fly standby, hoping for an empty seat just before departure in return for a 50% discount. That only worked because planes were empty. Today, the incentive to get a cheap seat is to book early, weeks in advance, not to show up at the last moment hoping to find an empty seat, because there are none. But to price the same seat seems unethical, if not illegal. Airlines are not allowed to discriminate on the basis of race, gender, or national origin. So why are we allowing them to, in effect, look at our credit report before quoting us a fare? I'm Jim Cameron for Talking Transportation.
Thank you, Jim. Kind of nice. It's too bad we didn't have a single trade go by.
I was hoping for a train.
Or a plane to land on the field.
Or the ferry.
Well, it depends on what price, I guess, you get.
I guess.
Maybe Bridgeport would be a good place to sign up to try to, get a good fare. Right? You get to see people do that
idea.
with the personalized thing.
That's they find ways to discriminate.
Yeah.
They just do. 11:46 on your coffee break. Only a minute late to bring Rob Adams in and talk sports. Rob, you've got Nutmeg at 2. What's on deck?
Well, we got a special guest today, John. No.
Is that a hint?
We do. We have a great guest today. Christopher Mad Dog Russo will be with us at 2:30. We will talk with him probably for the balance of the show because he's got a lot to talk about in terms of his thoughts on the FCAC. He really stays up on high school sports, does a great job of knowing the scene around the FCAC especially. He's a New Canaan guy. Obviously, his son plays for New Canaan basketball, but even before his son started playing, Doggy had his fingers kind of on high school sports.
Oh, I think before his kids were even born, when he was living in New Canaan, didn't he talk about it with Mike from time to time?
Oh, sure. Yeah, they talked about it. Mike would take a sip of Diet Coke, and they'd continue on.
Yeah.
So, Dog is he's great. He's been great to us, and he's a great interview, so we will see him. We'll talk with him a little later today on Nutmeg Sports here on HANradio.com. So that'll be great. And, of course, the action that'll take place here today. I think we've got two intriguing games. As I said yesterday, It really comes down to who is your pitcher today, and we don't really know who's pitching yet for sure. But, you would have to give the edge to the top 2 seeds. I think that's fair to say, to give the edge to Darien and Staples. Besides, there are Darien guys sitting not too far away, and they'd be happy to throw me right over the edge. So we've got to keep that in mind, too. And it would be a heck of a landing.
It would all depend on where your head.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the breakdown is at 5 o'clock, so we'll be on 4:55 or so.
Right.
You'll have top-seeded Darien versus number 5 Wilton. That's a 5 o'clock start. And then the nightcap, 7:30 scheduled first pitch time. They tend to go, a half hour after the first game ends?
Pretty much. By the time they're able to, get ready and go, about a half hour between games.
And that will be number 2 Staples versus number 6 Trinity. Staples advanced with a 3-0 win over Ward. Trinity eliminated New Canaan 3-1. Darien and Wilton both won by identical 6-1 scores. Darien over Stamford, and Wilton behind J.T. Morin's gem from the mound over Norwalk in the game we brought you from City Hall.
And another gem pitched by Randy Polonia of Trinity Catholic. We won't see him pitch today, but I am looking forward to seeing him play today. He'll move over to shortstop in all likelihood, and what a special player. He's on his way to UConn, so I want to see him later today.
And another gem last night in the SCC where Shelton High senior Mike Cowell threw a no-hitter against North Haven. The Gales win 3-0 in the SCC quarterfinals. They will play Fairfield Prep, the 2nd seed. Prep knocked off career magnet of New Haven 15-4.
And Mike Suppy's got video of that no-hitter, the final out. I mean, it's, I've called a no-hitter in high school. It's very low-key. It's kind of like, hey, it's a no-hitter. Yeah. The broadcasters probably get more excited than the kids do.
Yeah, well,
sometimes they don't know in the scorebook, too.
Yeah, you've got to really be paying attention.
Yeah.
To know it's a no-hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea that softball game.
I was going to say, I think the reaction in that softball game would have been a lot different. I think those girls would have been very amped for that final out of that perfect game had they finished the job, but didn't happen. But to softball, John, that same St. Joe's team is moving on, and it was Nicole Williams who got the win yesterday and had a 3-run homer in the mix.
She can do it all on the softball diamond. That team just a machine. Now, that is tomorrow at Sacred Heart University.
Right.
St. Joe's will face Stanford, the 3rd seed. Stanford upset 2nd-seeded Darien 4-2 yesterday. St. Joe's no trouble with West Hill, a 12-1 win there.
Nope, not at all. St. Joe's is going to be a very tough out for Stanford. That will be a big upset if Stanford can pull it off.
And in the Southwest Conference, 2nd-seeded Joel Barlow is going to the Southwest Conference Final for the first time ever, thanks to a 6-2 win over Brookfield at DeLuca Field in Stratford last night. The Falcons are 17-5, and they ride a 13-game win streak into their matchup today at 7 against top-seeded Newtown. Newtown blanked Pomperog 12-0 in the other semifinal at DeLuca Field.
Like seeing teams make it for the first time. It's always
That's
fun.
always fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun. So we'll talk more sports on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock.
We will, from right here at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Very cool. We'll do it then.
We got 2 baseball games tonight, softball championship tomorrow, and then the two teams that win tonight. We'll see them again here on Friday.
See them on Friday, and we'll be back here Friday for our shows as well. So thanks, guys.
And then you're covering the CrossFit competition here on Saturday?
Absolutely. No rest for the weary.
All right, taking a look back here at the news. In New Canaan, the proposed new post office building at 18-26 Locust Avenue was okayed Tuesday night after developer Richard Caruto's project changed its on-site traffic circulation flow to a one-way east-to-west pattern. In the previous meeting, it was proposed a two-way traffic, but safety and other issues concerned the planning and zoning commissioners, which asked Caruto to reconsider. He did, and now, after over a year and a half of various developers and real estate owners trying to get a new post office built in New Canaan, P&Z said yes to the nature centers. Said yes in the nature centers community room. I thought that'd be a weird place for a post office. The approval
that would be unusual.
Although
nice nature center.
Work out well for the birds.
It's a great nature center.
Yeah, you could do a lot of carrier pigeons out of there. Maybe. No. Okay. The approval set in motion. Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
The approval sets in motion. Caruto's already agreed upon purchase of 26 Locust Avenue as one of the 2 stipulations in the sale contract that was the building be approved by the town. That did not make much sense, but you can bear with me on this. The second stipulation is that the post office sign a 10-year lease, which it has tentatively agreed upon. If it does, New Canaanites will have the new permanent facility so many have hoped for since the last one at 2 Pine Street was vacated in January of 2014. So we're nearly a year and a half of no one knowing where the post office is going to be in New Canaan, and luckily that outdated mode of sending stuff is going to be there for people in New Canaan.
They want it. And it's not like there's a shortage of vacant space.
No, but I think it was parking's always a big problem, and a lot of people still do really use the post office, but it's not like it's a growing industry.
No, it is not.
Speaking of growing industries, it's something going on with the schoolhouse in Reading.
Yeah, the Reading Board of Selectmen approved spending up to $5,950 for a structural analysis of the Umpqua Schoolhouse so the Reading Historical Society can apply for a grant. Joe Bonomo, president of the Reading Historical Society, said the Umpqua Schoolhouse, which is one of the last one-room schoolhouses in the state, is in dire need of structural repairs. He said the Historical Society is working to apply to the State Trust for Historic Preservation, trying to get a grant to pay for repairs. Part of that application requires providing an estimate of what the cost of the work would be. They do have an engineering evaluation for both Umpqua School and the Lone Town Farmhouse. The total estimate is $8,450 for both structures, of which $5,950 is for Umpqua School. New Canaan also home to one of the last one-room schoolhouses around.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. Ridgefield has one.
Every town seems to have one of the last one-room schoolhouses around.
The Umpqua one is neat. I spent some time in there. I got to cover a kind of pretend classroom.
Oh, that's kind of
neat. They put it on for the kids back my first year as a reporter back, I think, in 2001, and got to see, they put the kids through what a kind of a typical morning would be like at the schoolhouse, including you have to bring in wood to keep the fire warm.
Oh, wow.
In the morning. It was fun.
That sounds.
They did not write on slate chalkboards, though, so I was a little disappointed about that.
That's disappointing.
Yes.
Missed that scratchy noise. That awful noise.
Well, this is probably the opposite of disappointing for a lot of people in Shelton, because the building going up for the new Chipotle Mexican Grill that will open in the Bridgeport Avenue Shopping Plaza in Shelton. It's you can see it now. The structure's wood frame is now in place. The standalone 2,400 square foot building will be in front of the Sears Appliance and Hardware and next to the Hampton Inn. It will occupy part of what was the Sears parking lot. The small shopping plaza is at 705 711 Bridgeport Avenue near Commerce Drive. The one-story Chipotle will have a small outdoor patio area. It will not offer drive-through services or sell alcoholic beverages based on zoning approval. It could open sometime this summer, and I bet you could expect a lot of our colleagues who work just down the street at 1000 Bridgeport Avenue might be venturing over there for lunch.
We may have to do that.
If you got to, anytime you go, the new one opens up, there's a line forever.
It is. It's like a Sonic.
There aren't many places worth waiting in line for the food, and a couple of them are up in New Haven and they serve pizza.
Yes, that's about it.
Can we get some of that here?
Yeah,
sure. Why not?
Flory, Alex.
That's what we have interns. That's what we have interns here for.
They're doing a great job up there.
So it's clouded over a little bit. We think we're going to be able to get the games in. Jacob Mizell, SWCT Weather, says the storms that are forecast will miss us. Right now it's 73 degrees and cloudy here in Bridgeport, getting up to 78. They're calling it partly cloudy. It's on and off sun. Right now it's being kind enough to let me read my screen, getting up to 78 today. Tonight, 62, chance of showers, and that's been downgraded from 40 to 30% in the past few minutes. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 80 degrees. It's currently 76 in Stratford, 77 in Fairfield. Taking a look at the roads, earlier delays in Norwalk have cleared. The accident on 91 south by exit 7 cleared in New Haven. Still have road work on the Merritt Parkway north at exit 37. That's Route 124 in New Canaan. They're apparently still dealing with that fatal accident in Guilford near exit 57 where a car left 95 and landed on State Street in Guilford. Earlier road work cleared in Stamford.
No, I'm just seeing something banging and I'm indicating. Go ahead. Carry on.
Thought you were cueing me on
Nope.
something. That's it for traffic.
Live radio.
Well, a rare piebald deer was captured on camera in Milford yesterday. The unusual-looking deer stopped by a Wheeler's Farm Road home Tuesday morning as the homeowner sent these photos, which you're seeing if you're watching us at hanradio.com/livestream. She sent them to milfordmere.com. The deer appears to be a doe. A piebald deer is a deer with a brown and white spotting pattern that is not caused by parasites or diseases. They can appear to be almost entirely white and sometimes have overly arched spines, long tails, short legs, and underbites.
Not the first one I've seen in this area.
I've never actually seen one in person.
I saw one, years ago, in no man's land in Westport, right on the Merritt, on top of one of the hills. Coloration very similar to that.
Yeah, this was very white.
It's mostly a white deer, but the head's almost entirely brown. I mean, you see some whitening of the head very often. Very interesting. I'm glad somebody sent us those
There's always
photos.
rumors of a completely albino deer living up on West Mountain in Richfield when I was a kid, and people claim to see it. I never saw it and don't know if I believe if anyone ever actually did, but I'm sure some of the McMansions they've built up there since then have scared it away to Lewisboro.
They always go to Lewisboro. Everybody's leaving
Everybody
Connecticut.
ends up in Lewisboro at some point in their life.
Everybody's leaving
with no cell
Connecticut.
phone service.
Yeah, there's that. There is that.
All right.
All right, that's going to about do it for your coffee break. We are going to take a break, reset things. We'll be back at 2 o'clock with Nutmeg Sports and continue to set the stage from the ballpark at Harbor Yard for tonight's FCAC baseball semifinals. Thank you for listening to and watching Coffee Break presented by Stratford Orthodontic.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.